Very, very well. But honestly, I consider him to be one of my mentors. Like, he fucking helped me out so much with just the way he worked. Not even like, hey, let me show you this, but just like in observing him, you learn. You know, and it's pretty remarkable.
I remember his the prep sheet, because we told him what dishes we wanted to do.
Yeah,
and he had it all mapped out as if he was going to be, picking up the dish. And I'm looking at this prep sheet, and it's the most detailed thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
just like, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and he writes it all in cursive.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, you can type this shit, right? He's like, nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would straight up, he trained me on Garmager, and every day I had to rewrite my prep list. And I'd be like, well, what if I type it? And he's like, no, my brother. He's like, you write it. And I was like, all right, dude. Like, all right, man. It's fine.
Yeah.
Man.
That, doing that dinner, prepping that, eating at Charter Oak, I think I got back to Malibu, and I texted Jeremy. I'm like, hey, like,
we're doing this.
Are you, like, is Birdie's happening?
Yeah.
I would come back. And
would you have come back if Birdie's wasn't a thing and there was no runway?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know if Brittany would have stayed, or if she would have tried to move on. Because,
understood.
There's just nothing against her, but there's someone in the job that you want, and I don't want to do anything to mess that up for her. But at the same time, she's preventing me from moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then as soon as he tells you, Birdie G's is on, you make the decision. Do you still live at this farm?
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, so I was driving from
just
Malibu
commute
to Santa Monica.
Okay, understood.
I don't think it lasted very long, but I was doing that for probably 3-4 months.
3-4 months.
I ended up getting an apartment in Koreatown that we lived in for up until recently, actually.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you come in here with the plan of you becoming CDC at some point.
Yeah, so I came back. The sous chef that they hired to replace me started the day after I left and left the day before I came back, so I never crossed over with him.
Okay.
And Brittany was here for, I think, 6 weeks to kind of catch me up. But everything's so systemized, the way that she has set up a lot of the ordering and the prep lists and everything, that it was honestly like riding a bike.
Okay.
I came back. I think I expedited my first night back. Worked with Brittany for 5 or 6 weeks, and then she left.
Gotcha.
I think at that point she went to Bellacore, but there may have been something else in between.
Yeah,
there.
I think she did a bunch of events, and time off, and things like that. And what was your focus when you came back and your CDC? Were you trying to get that star?
No. That wasn't even I don't think they were in LA at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't. So it wasn't even a possibility, It's just try to not let Jeremy down and try to figure out, who and how I want to be.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I was definitely like an asshole, Mm-hmm. I came back intense. I inherited, a crew. No, I don't think any of the cooks that were here had lasted from when I had left. Mm-hmm. So it was a whole new crew, other than front of house dishwashers and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I was pretty intense. I worked like 48 days in a row.
Yeah.
Probably burned myself out.
For sure. It's also a danger, too, when you do that, because I found myself doing that at Charter Oak, because you can't sleep, because you're like, is the restaurant okay?
Yeah.
Are my stocks all right? You know, how's the walk-in?
Yeah.
And you work so much that you then take it out on other people when they don't do shit correctly, because you're like, I've been here for so long,
Definitely. And I'm not a yeller.
Yeah.
I never have been. And I started to see that coming out. And when I came back, like, I knew that I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
I knew that I didn't want to be I didn't want to run a kitchen based on fear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Heard.
You know, you want people to want to do the right thing.
Exactly.
And I got lucky with the team that they had in place. And a lot of them worked here for quite a while after I came back. Mm-hmm. You know, Nestor, my executive sous chef, started here when I left and is still here. He got promoted to sous when I came back.
Yeah.
Which, shit, man, that was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And does he consider you his mentor?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think I'm in a place to be anybody's mentor right now.
Heard that. Is it more of a peer-to-peer sort of like, let's get better together?
I think
partnership?
So. You know, I find him hard to read sometimes, and I know he finds me hard to read because we've had conversations about it. There's definitely, you know, we work on things together. We brainstorm together, but he has his dishes on the menu. I try to let him, you know, explore his creativity as much as he can.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. I that's what I'm trying to do right now is try to figure out how to be a teacher.
Got you.
You know,
do you have any young guys that have come in that you're like, I think?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We
now let me ask you this: do they come in wanting to work for you or wanting to work for Jeremy?
This most recent time, we haven't hired anybody in a long time.
Yeah,
we had the
COVID,
same
dude.
But even before that, man, like we had line cooks that worked here for 2 years.
Oh wow, okay. So you got a long tenured team,
and we just lost 2 people, actually, like 2 weeks ago. Was their final days. So that job posting that I put out, you know, a month or 2 ago was the first time that it felt like people were coming to work with me.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's something I would, you know, me and Chef talked about a lot when I took over. It was like, people need to understand when they're coming to work here, like they're not coming to work for you. Like it's not the restaurant I'm at with. They're coming to work for me. You know, so it's like a different dynamic, setting different expectations of like, I don't have those 3 Michelin stars. You know, like I'm not Jeremy Fox. I didn't write that book.
Yeah, know? Man. And I mean, that's always in the back of my head. Like, I respect him. I probably want to be like him in certain ways, but at the same time, you know, I want to figure out how to make a name for myself. And he's done nothing but help me do that. Yeah,
for sure. For sure. I mean, I just had dinner at Birdie G's before this dinner. I did a bang bang today. And he was telling me, he says, you know, the star is Andy's. The star is not mine, you know. And he's like, and a lot of the professionals that I talk to would agree. Like, you know, that he, it's sort of one of the most beautiful stories in our industry of like a chef passing along the torch and you know, making the place better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking hard to do, especially following an act like
I
that.
mean,
you know, it's like
I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if it's just how I am, but like, I don't know if I see it like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I can understand that too,
because if I just had my food and I never worked for him and we weren't here together, like, we obviously would never have gotten it.
Heard that.
So I respect him for saying that, but, you know, if anything, it's ours.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's everybody who's left their legacy here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking every single dishwasher and Brittany and, you know,
100%.
Fucking everyone.
Yeah.
Now, tell me what it was like getting that news.
I mean, so I think we knew that they were bringing the guide back to LA because so the party was in June, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And we started getting these weird emails from the Michelin guide back in February asking for photos, asking if they could, repost things on Instagram. So I'm freaking out.
Yeah. Everything needs to be perfect.
Yeah. And then leading up to it, they asked us if we wanted to book a hotel room. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I get there. John Yao, Mei Lin standing right in front of me. I mean, then you see, Corey Lee off in the background. And you're just like, holy shit! Like this is gonna happen.
This is it.
I just remember being there. They were all watching it on whatever live stream, and then it happened. They called Jeremy's name.
Yeah.
And I went up there, standing next to John. I'm like, probably trying not to cry at this point, and just, standing among greatness, and I'm just this like punk ass kid from Massachusetts. It was cool, man. Yeah. And it definitely affected me in good ways and bad ways.
Yeah. Heard that.
Yeah. What we say now in the kitchen when we have our meetings, when we talk about the way that we do things, it's the star is there. We have the star. It's hanging in the kitchen. It's not on display because it's really important that everyone knows that it's not going to change the way that we do things.
Exactly.
It's a standard. If it means more to one person than it does to the other, then that's great. We're not going to, talk shit about Michelin, but at the same time, star or not, it's not going to change, the standards that we have in the kitchen.
Yeah, what we do or where we're going.
Yeah.
Heard that. After all this time, how do your parents feel about all this? Like, do they know what a Michelin star was?
Yeah,
okay, got you.
I mean, my mom keeps up with everything. I think she probably has like a Google alert on my name. My dad is a man of few words, but definitely is, proud.
Yeah, for sure.
They have come out a few times for dinners and whatnot. But yeah, my relationship with my parents is better now than it ever has been.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, when you show them that all those decisions you made were for a reason, I think they start to sort of respect you as a human. Yeah,
and I'm just lucky that, they let me make my mistakes.
Exactly, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's 100% what you need to be doing.
Definitely.
So where do you go from here? I know that, do you see yourself staying here for a long, long time, or do you see yourself sort of starting to see, hey, is there another restaurant that I can open? Is there another thing that I can do?
Yeah, I mean, I say pre-COVID, I was sure that I wanted to open something of my own, and I didn't know what I wanted that to be, and now I'm definitely a little less sure. I don't, after seeing, what pandemic did to everything, I don't know that I want to put my own money into something. Talking like I actually have money. I'm just a little more guarded when it comes to that. I do know that I want, I eventually want to open something with Tiff, my fiance, that, that brings farming into it.
Yeah. We got to bring Tiffany on the show.
Yeah. She's a talker.
She's Puerto Rican from what I hear.
She is. She got her second dose today, so she is knocked out.
Whoa, okay.
She would have probably come in otherwise. But
it's all good. It's all good. So you guys are living not too far from here?
Yeah, we got a COVID deal on an apartment.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, those COVID deals are sweet.
Yeah, we were living in K-Town, lived there for a few years, and then moved to this smaller apartment in Culver City, try to save money, and we had a serious mold issue.
I think I saw that on social media.